So if you're a business owner that is running ads and you're trying to scale to 50K a month, 100K a month, then this video is for you because I want to talk about how you can beat your competitors by throwing more volume into the algorithm. Okay, more value as well as volume. The way to get more value is by throwing more volume, but that's besides the point. The main point is how can you get yourself in a position where within a 100-day period of time, you have gone through 500 pieces of content and not 10 pieces of content that you're testing with. So let's take a step back and explain what I mean. So right now, the state of ads in 2026, it's all about volume. How much can we feed the algorithm? Okay. Yes, there's a whole science to creating ads, right? The hook structure, the body, the call to action, all that. But I'm not talking about that today. Okay. I want to keep it more grounded. I want to keep it more simple, something that you can go act upon right now, today, and just do it and utilizing AI fully. Okay, because what I want to show you, this can be done through Claude. It can be done with Chat GPT. It doesn't matter, whichever AI you're using. I personally use Claude. And for me, the more important thing is the consistency, not how crazy the hook is, not how the structure of the ad is, not whether it's 45 seconds or 50 seconds. That doesn't matter. That's minute. It's minutiae to what I'm talking about today. For me, the most important thing is consistency, and that's what I want to bring across to you. And the point of today's video is how can we use AI to allow us to create a lot more volume of ads and experiment with a lot more variation of angles to try and find that winning angle quicker, but also to always be relevant in the sense that ads will run out of steam. Okay, they will. If you have an ad running right now on your Meta or Instagram and you have not changed your ads or you have not shot a new ad in the last 3 months, then your ad is going to run out of steam soon. Okay, no good ad runs forever. That's why you keep seeing ads. That's why it's it is what it is, $1 billion, $1 trillion industry. So let's start in the beginning. Okay, this is how I and my team, we have a good workflow of making sure we're able to always produce a large quantity and good quality uh, volume of content every single month. Now, in this case, I'll give you an example. I'll start in the baseline. It's very important to have the baseline because there is some prerequisites to be able to do this in a way that you can scale it, but you're not falling off the path in terms of who you're trying to target, what your offer is, what the pain points that you need to be talking about are in your ads. So let's give you an example of baseline. Let's say I'm a business owner and I'm trying to do B2B, and I want to get business clients. Now, how would I start my baseline? I want to run ads now. I'm going to use AI to try and make sure everything I create my ads is based upon data. So what do I mean by that? Let's say I'm doing 10, 20K a month. I'm trying to scale to 50K a month. If I'm doing 10, 20K a month, let's just say 20, I'm going to already have clients, whether they're recurring clients or I've worked with a certain number of clients, maybe 10, 15 clients already in the past. I'm going to have data, and I want AI to first of all start by scraping as much of that data as possible and building what I like to call data intelligence. Right? It's data intelligence, not something that I've coined or anything, but that's the starting point. So what does that look like? I'm going to take all the call transcripts that I've ever had. It doesn't even have to be closed calls, any call, right? Won, lost, didn't show up, whatever. I'm going to look at where my conversations with clients are happening. If it's in Slack, I'm going to get AI to parse through all my Slack channels, and I'm going to tell it to come up with a pattern analysis, right? Let's say it passes through 10 Slack channels for 10 clients. What are all the 10 things those channels had in common in terms of pain points, in terms of how we solved their problem and what the result was? And then also because of it parsing through Slack channels, it's going to give us a good repository of case studies as well. So every time someone's like, yeah, that worked, case study collected, right? So, and again, we can get AI to do all of this. So inside, how does that work practically? Literally go to Claude, connect it to your Slack on Claude in the connectors, and tell Claude, okay, I have 10 Slack channels of previous clients. Go through each channel. You have to give Claude the channel ID. You can go find that by going to Slack, going to the settings and then of the channel, and you'll be able to see the channel ID at the bottom. Paste that into Claude and just prompt it. Parse through this entire Slack channel and give me the main pain points of this client. Give me what we did to help them and what the result was, and also collect any testimonials you can find. So you do that across all 10 of them. Okay, now you have data intelligence from 10 clients, okay, with the top pain point of that client, what you did to help them, what the results were, what the testimonial was. Now we're going to reverse engineer it as well. Okay, so now that's like closed state, that's a closed client. Now we're going to go one step further back. All your closed client calls, okay, the transcripts of those sales calls, tell Claude, paste all of them into Claude one by one, or put them all into a drive, put them all into a folder, and then give the folder to Claude. And you could use Claude Code, you can use Cowork, and make it analyze the entire folder and all the transcripts inside the folder, and tell it to give you pattern analysis. What were all the common pain points these calls, these leads had, and what did they need fixed? What did we offer them? Okay, that closed them. Then you go one step back again, just all the sales calls. Doesn't matter whether they won or not. All the sales calls. What you want to do here is you want to see whether the pain points of your closed clients match the pain points of all the calls you've taken in general, to see if there's a pattern in terms of, okay, maybe they didn't close, but they did have those points. Maybe they had a reason they didn't close. Maybe they couldn't afford it, or they weren't ready yet, whatever the objection is. But what you're really trying to do is you're trying to make sure you're validating that these closed clients' pain points are actually something that can be extrapolated. Okay, they can be extrapolated to the larger audience you're trying to target. And that's a good place to start, honestly. I don't think you need more than that. So you're going to start with the hottest data, parsing all the data you have in your Slack channels. Then the next level is looking at the call transcripts to get the minutiae details of what was spoken about. Then you're looking at all just the sales call transcripts of all the calls you've taken within a period of time, to validate that what the close clients' pain points are also the pain points that the people who are jumping on your calls are having in the first place. Also, another thing is, if you've noticed that the pain point, like, your close clients have, is like only 20% of the full, or like if you're taking 1,000 calls and like let's say 100 closed, if all the 100 that closed, if their pain point is like accounts to 20% of what the 1,000 people had, that tells you that you've been talking to the wrong people this whole time anyway. So you need to change your ads to fix that problem, and target the right people. But my point is, that's a good starting point, right? So Slack channel analysis, closed client transcripts, just all sales call transcripts to validate the closed client pain points and see if there's anything else. And that's a good starting point. Take all that data, put it into Claude or Chat or whichever AI you use. All right, based on all this data, give me the top 10 pain points all my clients face, and give me what were the solutions what did we do to solve these problems, and what were the results. It'll give you a list of everything. Okay, you have the top 5 pain points, or the top 10 pain points. Now you'll tell AI, okay, from these top 10 pain points, generate me these are all angles, generate me an ad based on all these angles. So you can start with 5. Let's say you take the top 5. Let's just say, for in this case, you're a health you are a marketing agency and you're trying to target health practices like dentists and med spas, this, that, the other, right? So maybe their top pain point is going to be disconnected platforms. So they're running like 10, 20 different systems, 5 different systems, platforms. Emails are here, funnels are there, CRM is there. Nothing is talking to each other. Everything is getting lost in translation. So that's a problem. The second problem might be follow-up, right? They're not following up with leads that book in, so no one walks into the clinic. They have a follow-up issue. Third pain point could be reactivation. They have a big database of leads that they're doing nothing with, so they need to reactivate all those leads. Let's just say those 3 for now. So you'll tell the AI has said these are the 3 pain points. Okay, now these are the 3 pain points. Create me 3 hooks and 1 body for each pain point. So it could be hook 1, hook 2, hook 3, and then body. And now what you've done is, for each angle, you've created 3 pieces of content. It's like hook 1, body, that's 1 video. Hook 2, body, that's 2nd video. Hook 3, body, that's 3rd video. All you have to do is record 1 body and 3 hooks. Very easy. You can get that done in like 10 minutes. So then that's 1 angle. Now you're doing that for 3. And this is scalable, right? So like you can say, okay, make 10 hooks and 3 bodies, and then you're going to have even more variations, right? Or 1 hook and, well, usually it's the hook we're testing. So multiple hooks and 1 body across multiple angles. If you want to go all 10 angles in the beginning, fine, right? You have 30 pieces of content just like that. Now that's the baseline. That's like the first ads you're going to run. Now, how do we have this loop where we keep making sure we are always updating our ads? So now, okay, let's say we run those 3 angles, and let's say 2 of those angles do really well. They're getting leads coming in. But let's say one of those angles, the leads are good quality leads. The second angle that is also doing well, a lot of leads are coming in, but they're bad quality leads. Like a lot of people no showing, or they can't afford it. They're like, practices that have not started yet, or they're doing less than the budget that you want them to have so they can pay for your services. So let's go with the first one. Obviously, the one that's good quality lead, everything is good, right? The angle's hitting hard, you're getting the right people, you're closing from it. What you want to do now is you take that script of that ad, give it to AI. All right, create more variations, create static variations, create different hooks, create different bodies, different angles, but based on that specific angle. So break that angle down. So, for example, let's say it's the angle about disconnected platforms. All right, what are the platforms that these practices are using that are actually disconnected? Is it like Zenoti? Is it Go High Level? Is it Mailchimp? And then break it down to specific angles. Okay, you can start. Okay, if you're using Mailchimp, this is for you. If you're using Go High Level, this is for you. So you're breaking it down, getting much more nuanced with it. Then let's say the second one where they are getting leads, but the quality of leads are not good. Whether it's people who are tire kickers, or they're people who are, shopping around. That's what I mean by tire kicker. Or they're people who are good leads, yeah, but they're not in the place to start. Maybe they're too small, or they're just starting out, and you genuinely can't help them because they haven't solved problems that businesses that are just starting out or at a certain revenue range have, and you don't want to deal with those problems. So if that's the case, then it's not about saying and axing that ad. It's about tweaking that ad and fixing who your ICP is. So let's say you only want to target practices doing 20K a month in revenue, or you only want to target practices that have 100 leads filling out their opt-in every month, or 100 bookings a month. Then you just need to go back to Claude or AI or chat, whatever, and just tell it, okay, this is the script of the ad. This is the problem. This is what I want to happen. Create more variations. So, okay, this is the script. The problem is everyone who opts in from this ad is doing less than 20K a month in revenue, and they can't afford the service. Let's fix it by changing the script or tweaking the hook to call out specifically practices doing more than 20K a month, or practices getting more than 100 bookings a month, and then create variations, and let's see how that works. And then you do that, and then you start to see what the changes are, and then you start to see if those changes made an impact. And then again, that's what the process is. It's an ongoing process. And what you'll realize is with ads, there's no start and stop, right? Your ads are always evolving every single time. You're never going to just turn off your ads until you change your strategy and like you want to just go organic. So like I'm talking about specifically for ads, right? We're not talking about any other strategy, and we're not talking about conversion optimization. Because let's say you are running your ads and leads are coming in, and the ads are fine, the ads are doing their job, but you're not converting, you're not getting closes, you're not getting people to show up for calls or whatever. That's a back end problem. That's a conversion problem. We're not talking about that in this video. We're talking about specifically ads and how we can get ourselves in a position practically as a business owner who's busy, who's running, who doesn't have time to shoot ads. How can you get into consistent workflow to record 100 pieces of content a month? How do you do that? Just like this. Start with your baseline, but make sure the prerequisites for this to work is it has to be data backed, right? You have to make sure that the ads start in a place where they'll work from the beginning, because you're using data from your client history to extrapolate what the problems are, and then amplify it to a bigger audience using ads, and then get more people who have those problems to click on your ad. If that's the baseline and you get that right, then all you're doing now is tweaking and optimizing the angles and the nuances to get to a place where your ads hit harder and they go further, right? And every dollar, is more efficient, and it's getting more leads coming in, and that's the game. And we're living in a time now with AI where it's so easy. It's so easy, right? Before, like, let's say you give it a 3-month period, and this is, by the way, my own recommendation. This is something I do personally that I have noticed while in the game of business. Is I always give a new offer if I'm running ads or doing a new offer, whatever it is, I always give it 3 months, because I've noticed it takes, let's say even 100 days, not 90 days. Let's say it takes 100 days for an offer to mature and reach a point where it's optimized, because good things take time. I know we're living in a world of AI and things are moving quick and you want answers tomorrow, but good things take time, and sometimes you need to give things time. Time is a factor as well. Um, and the problem is, if you run a new ad today and in 30 days you give up because it's not giving you results, you've lost out on those 60 additional days you would have had to experiment and test the offer, and then you would have eventually found that winning angle with this strategy, especially. Now, by doing it this way with AI, It's allowing for two things. The first thing is it allows you to find that winning angle quickly because you are working through much more variations of ads. But the second thing is it's allowing you to have more volume of ads in the same amount of time, which means you might find multiple different angles that work. Okay. So if you're going 100 days before, you might have only been able to do 10, 20 pieces of content. Now you can do 500. And it's easy because AI can even create statics for you, it can create ad images for you as well. So that's the game. Have variation, see who comes in, tweak the ads based on who comes in. If it's a good ad and good leads coming in, run more variations of that ad to optimize it or to try and hit people at different angles. If it's an ad where people are coming in, but the quality of people is not good, then tweak the angle or tweak the messaging of the ad to make sure you are qualifying leads better from the ad. Again, we're talking about top of funnel. If they do come in and then of course you have more qualification gates to remove, the unqualified leads, that's normal. That should be happening. If you're not doing that, then that needs to happen. But specifically, we're talking about ads right now. All top of funnel, you can qualify leads through the ad as well by being specific about who you're trying to target. So yeah, very simple. Make sure that if you're a business owner who is trying to scale your business, you are running ads. Make sure that you are playing around with a lot of variations because right now it's all about feeding the algorithm volume and seeing what sticks. Really, that's all the game is. But now with AI, how we're doing it, we're not doing anything crazy. We're not reinventing the wheel. All we're doing is we're using data from past clients and what we know works. And we are giving that to AI and telling it to make variations. We're testing those variations. Some stick, most don't. The ones that don't, fine, we leave them. The ones that do, we're just recreating variations of those. And it's an ongoing process. It never ends. It's an ongoing process. Very simple. All right. I hope that was helpful. If it was, then leave a like and follow for more. And I will see you in the next video.